This is the BNU semester 2 assignment 1 of the year 2019. Okay, what you see here are important information which I will skip reading. That's for you. And I'm gonna move on straight forward to questions here. I prefer to do them by categories. Okay, I wanna do question 1, 2, and 3 together because they're in the same category. I talk about place values and rounding, stuff like that. Now, before I tackle the questions, I want to remind you something like when rounding numbers, okay, we look at numbers, there are like, numbers will be like 9, 8, 7, 6, 8, sorry, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, okay, digits, that comes after the comma, okay. For digits that are lesser than 5, meaning 0 to 4, here we will ignore these after the decimal place. So ignore after decimal place. Ignore after decimal place. Okay, I think I can just write all of these somewhere here. I meant to write it like this because of space. Over here, we will ignore after the decimal place. Okay, I meant that. Now, for digits that are like 5 or more, here we are going to just plus 1 unit to the decimal place. Add 1 to the decimal place, to the decimal place. I will explain it. Decimal place or value. I meant, okay. Now the question here, they say around 20.54545 ... off to 3 decimal digits. Now I want you to remember that it said here to 3 decimal digits. Okay, so meaning the number sits, which is like 20.54545 dot. We're gonna count the decimal digits. Okay, 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to look at the 4th decimal. When they say 3 decimal place, we're going to look at the 4th decimal value. Okay, which is 4 here. Now the fact that 4 falls in this category, okay, lesser than 5, we will going to ignore all these digits, okay, and then we stop there. So the correct answer is just 20.545. So which is in this case alternative number 20.545 is alternative number 2. Okay, now question 2 here, we have like round this, okay, the same number off to 2 decimal place. So I want to notice the set here to 2 decimal place. I'm gonna write the same number 20.54545, okay, to 2 decimal place. Let's first count the decimal place. So like 1, 2. Okay, we're going then to look at the 3rd decimal value, okay, which is 5. Okay, 5 here, this falls in this category here, where we're going to add 1 to the decimal place value. Okay, the digit at the decimal at the 2nd decimal place, we're gonna add 1 over here. By 4 we add 1, then this will become 20.55. So the correct answer in this question is alternative 3. Okay, because this digit here falls in this category here. Okay, now question number 3, they say the round this number off to an integer. Okay, when they say to an integer, meaning we don't want any decimal place. Okay, an integer is a number without decimal parts, without fraction part either. So we can write the number is like 20, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so about that. Then to do that, we just want to look at the first decimal number. Okay. Now, in this case, it is 5. Decimal number after the comma, okay? Decimal digit after the comma, it's 5. 5 falls in this category. This is where we are going to add 1 to the digit before it, okay? This digit here. So the answer will be like 21. So it is alternative 2, the correct answer. I hope it is clear. If you have questions, you can just ask question in the comments and then I can help you. Okay. Now we can move on to the next set of questions. Well, now we have another question here, question 8. The question says that Alexander travels X kilometers in P hours. At what average speed does Alexander travel? Okay, so I'm gonna write the formula here. The average speed is given by total distance over elapsed time. Okay, sometimes people prefer to use this method they get from the triangle. Okay, I'm gonna write it here, I'm gonna draw it here, like that. Okay, where they put the distance over here, and then the speed, and then the time. Okay, and then they said if you work out to remember easily, when they do that, they say the distance is speed times, or speed will be this distance over times, or distance will be or times will be distance over speed. Now, because I'm looking for speed, I'm gonna say it's distance over time. Okay, because they said at what average speed does Alexander travel? Now, let's get into it. So the average speed will be, I can just write it S, will be, they said travels X kilometers. Kilometers is the distance, okay? So D is X, so D here is X, and then, okay? And P here is the hour, the time, okay? It's time, because when they say P hours, that's the time. So it's gonna be X kilometers, okay, over P hours. Now, this can be written as S will be equal to X over P kilometers per hour, okay? Kilometers per hour. So this is alternative 3. Now, the following question is question 9. It says, suppose I buy 10 shirts, okay? Some cost 40 rand a shirt and others 45 rand a shirt. If the total cost is 435 rand, how much or how many of the 45 types of shirts did I buy? It's quite tricky here because I don't know how many of this is, but we can calculate it. Now let's see. There are 10 shirts in total, okay? Let's say some of them cost 40 rand and some of them cost 45 rand, but we don't know how much this. But all we know, the total that we get is 435 rand. Now the question is, how many of the 45 types of shirts did I buy? Now, a situation like this, it's when we call a variable, okay, an unknown. Instead of say that I don't know it, it's longer, or say unknown, we can just say X. Okay, let's say the number of 45 rand shirt is X rand. Okay, I'm gonna say here, let X be the number of 45 rand shirts. Shirts. Therefore, if X is the number of 45 rand shirts, then what should be the number of 40 rand shirts? We know the total number of the shirt is 10, okay? But X of them are 45 rand. So the number of 40 rand shirts will be 10 minus X, because X are the number of 45 rand shirts. So the number of the 40 rand shirt must be 10 minus X, okay? Assuming like there were 4 shirts that cost 45 rand, okay? Now, therefore, we'll say there must be 6 shirts that will cost 40 rand. How do I know? I did 10 minus 4, because 10 minus 4 is 6. So because I don't know how much it is, I'm gonna leave it X, and then the number of 40 rand shirt will be 10 minus X. So 10 minus X will be the number of 40 rand shirt. Okay? So let's now calculate how much does it make. If I had like X shirt that costs 45 rand, that means the total would be 45X. Okay? And then for here, so that the cost of X shirt will be 45X. Now the cost of 40 rand shirt will be then 40 times 10 minus X. We can calculate this. Okay, you know, situation like this, we will do 40 times 10 and then 40 times X. That means that makes 400, okay, minus 40X. 40 times 10 makes 400, and 40 times X makes 40X. There's a negative sign there. So now they say the total cost is given, it is 435. So we'll say that 45X plus 40 plus 400 minus 40X equal to 435, because that's the cost of all the shirts. This is the cost of all the shirts in terms of X. Now, let's calculate it. 45X minus 40X is equal to how much? Is just 5X. So like 5X plus 400, okay, equal to 435. Now, if I need to find X, I can just move the 400 over, okay? In other words, I'll minus here by 400, I'll minus there also by 400. And then we have left with 5X equal to 35, okay? Because 35 minus 400 is 35. To find the value of X, it's when we will divide them here. Because it's 5X, I must divide here by 5 and divide there by 5 also. Then this will make X equal to 35 divided by 5. This is just 7. So the correct alternative, the number of 45 rand shirts is where 7. Okay, let's go back to it, explain again. Because we don't know how much are like the 40 rand shirts and how much are the 45 rand shirts, we can call them, we can give them, we can call a variable, we can say, okay, let's X be the number of the 45 rand shirts. Therefore, the number of the 40 rand shirts will be 10 minus X. Okay, so if, because the total number of shirts is 10, let's say this was 3, for instance, it's going to be 10 minus 3, it's going to be 7 here. Okay, now we work out how much it cost. 45 rand shirts is 45X. How much will cost the 40 rand shirt is going to be 40 times 10 minus X, which is 400 minus 40X here. Okay, and then we say the total will be like 45X plus 400 minus 40X. which is the same as 435 because this is the total cost of all of them, all the shirts together. That's why we equate this by 435. And then we simplify in order to get x. Okay. Now we're going to do this question here in this page, question 10. Question 10 says that simplify the following expression as far as possible. Okay. So what can we do? Okay. We have x, open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket, minus 2, open bracket 1 minus x squared, open x minus 4x. Okay, so in a situation like this, you know, we're going to times what's in the brackets. Okay, to drop it back, we're going to do x times x, and then x times -2, and then -2 times 1, okay, and then -2 times x squared. Okay, but remember, there's an x here next to the brackets here, so this will be, excuse me, x squared minus x times x makes x squared, and then x times 2 makes 2x. Okay, this is negative sign there. Minus, over here, I will keep the brackets. Okay, so I keep my open brackets, 2 times 1. I leave the negative sign out there as access to 2 times 1. That makes 2. And then 2 times negative x squared, that makes negative x squared times x minus 4x. Okay, now I am going to times x also in here, x times that, and then x times x squared. So this will be x squared minus 2x minus open brackets 2x minus x, because I do this x times 2, it makes 2x. X times x squared makes x cubed minus 4x. And then let's do this way. I can drop down the brackets. That makes x squared minus 2x. So over here, we need to be careful when we have a negative sign outside the brackets, okay? Because this negative sign will change everything within the brackets. So this will become what? Negative 2x positive x cubed, okay, minus 4x. We can now write it in terms of with the higher order of exponents. So this will become like x cubed, okay, x cubed are underlined, and then -2 and -2 here makes -4x. Oh no, before them we have x squared there, so plus x squared, and then -2 and -2 there, that makes -4x, and then minus 4x there, that makes x cubed, plus x squared minus 8x. Okay. I don't see that alternative here. I believe it was meant to be this answer, but this is wrong. There's no 2 in front of wait. Oh no, yeah, there is the 2 because I missed here. When I times, oh yeah, it's my fault. I times here by 2. Okay, 2, and then 2. Yes, 2, correct. Now it is alternative 4. Okay, because 2 times 1 makes 2, and then 2 times that's supposed to be 2x squared here. I didn't write 2 over there. I didn't write 2 over here. Yes, it was supposed to be like that. When we drop the brackets, the negative will change, this becomes positive, and then this, it is alternative 4. Now, the last question here says simplify the following expression as far as possible. So we have like AB open bracket A minus B open bracket C squared minus BA minus open bracket A squared minus C squared close bracket times B. Now we're going to simplify this over here. Okay, I'm gonna write like AB open bracket A minus B minus B open bracket C squared minus BA minus A squared minus C squared close bracket B. Now over here we do times that, this times that, that times that, and then this times that, and then times that. And then this will be like AB times A. Okay, we have A here and then A there. That makes A squared B. Okay, and then so that's AB times A. And then AB times negative B. So there's two B's here. B times B will make B squared. So it's gonna be like minus AB squared. Okay, minus B times C squared makes B C squared. B times careful, okay, it's negative B, okay, negative B times C squared makes negative B C squared. Negative B times negative B A here, negative and negative here will make positive. So this will become positive B squared A. And then over here, B times A squared is B A squared. Okay, maybe I should, let's keep it negative like this. That makes B A squared. And then minus B times C squared makes B negative BC squared. Now when I drop the bracket, this will be like A squared B minus AB squared minus BC squared plus AB squared, which is B squared A, AB squared minus A squared B, the same thing as, okay, over here, B A squared, the same thing as A squared B with negative sign, it's just negative. And then this negative here will turn to positive. It becomes positive BC squared. Now let us underline like terms, okay? We have like A squared B there, and then another A squared B is over here, okay? So the two, this is a positive, that's negative, the two will cancel out. So cancel this out. And now the AB squared, in terms of AB squared, we have like this one and that one, they have opposite signs, so they can cancel out because that was negative and this one positive, opposite signs. And this also, BC, negative BC squared and positive BC squared, they also cancel out. So the expression here is just equal to 0. So the correct alternative is alternative 3. Thank you. And then we're going to take the next page. Well, now we're going to do question 4. I guess 4, 5, and 6 together, and 7, yes. The question says here, excuse me, a shuttle and a bus leave UNISA at 9 o'clock heading for the FNB Stadium. The bus arrives at the stadium 15 minutes after the shuttle. Suppose that the bus takes Y minutes to travel from UNISA to the stadium. An expression for the time it takes the shuttle to travel to the stadium is ... Okay, here it is say that say that the bus arrives at the stadium 15 minutes after the shuttle. It means, let's say the shuttle travel like 30 minutes, okay? So the bus will, it takes the shuttle 30 minutes to reach the stadium. So the bus will be like 45 minutes, okay? Or in other words, if the bus was 45 minutes, so the shuttle bus, then the shuttle will be 30 minutes. So if the bus was like, let's say the bus is like 60 minutes, then the shuttle will be 45 minutes. Okay, that's what it means. Now, we said, it did say that it takes the bus y minutes. The bus, it takes the bus y minutes, okay, to reach its destination. Therefore, the shuttle, it must take the shuttle y minus 15 minutes because uh, the bus comes 15 minutes later, or the shuttle comes 15 minutes earlier than the bus. Okay, 15 minutes. So the correct alternative here is alternative 1. Okay, and then question 5 says, as we can see, that a mother divides an amount of money among her 3 children, Kagiso, Dikeledi, and Tabo. Kagiso gets twice as much as his sister Dikeledi, and Dikeledi gets 100 less than Tabo. Suppose Tabo gets X rand. How much does Kagiso get in terms of X? Well, questions like that, it's better to solve them backwards. Okay, by looking at the unknown, always identify the unknown. The unknown here is that Tabo gets X rands. Okay, because we want to express Kiso's money in terms of X, let's first see who gets X rand. Here was Tabo on the right here. Tabo gets X rand. Okay, X rand. Then before Tabo gets X rand, it is said that Dikeledi gets 100 less than Tabo. So Tabo gets X rand. Dikeledi gets 100 less than Tabo. On the right here, Dikeledi we get X, we get 100 less than Tabo. So 100 less than X. 100 less than X means X minus 100 rand. Okay? Or I can just say, let me just remove the rands here. I'm gonna say it got X rand, and then this get X minus 100 rand. And then before the Keledi, it is say that Kagiso gets twice as much as a sister Dikeledi. So whatever Dikeledi had, Kagiso gets twice, double of it, okay? That's the meaning of twice. So Kagiso gets twice as much as Dikeledi had, because Dikeledi had like X minus 100. Twice means times 2, so times 2, or it means also double, so which is just a 2 open bracket. We can write like this, 2 open bracket X minus 100. Now, this is what Kagiso, because they said, how much does Kagiso get in terms of X? So Kagiso gets in terms of X, 2 open bracket X minus 100, close bracket rand, which is alternative 4. Okay, let me repeat over again. Questions like this, it's better to start to work it, to do it backwards, okay? Or look at the person who gets like Tabo here, gets X rand. You first write down that you got X rand, and then before Tabo, the lady gets 100 less than Tabo, so which means X minus 100, okay? And then let's say Kagiso gets twice as much as her sister Dikeledi. So whatever Dikeledi had this amount here. So we times this number by 2, as we did it here. And then we got how much Kagiso gets. Now, following question is question 6. Here it says that the petrol consumption of a certain boat is 15 liters per 100 kilometers. Suppose you want to travel d kilometers and the petrol price is P rand per liter. How much in rand will it cost you to travel the d kilometers? Okay. Because I need to find out how much kilometers will cost, how much kilometer will cost, I prefer to write my questions like this. I'll prefer to leave the kilometers on the left. So it's like 100 kilometers for 15 liters. Okay. Now I want to see how much d kilometers will cost me in terms of liter. Before doing that, I will first find how much is 1 kilometers. Okay, always work out how much 1 kilometers uh, um, will be in liters. So 1 kilometers, so I divide by 100 here to get 1 kilometers. I divide by 100 there, because whatever you do on the left, you must also do on the right. Now this will make what? 1 kilometers will spend like 15 over 100 liters of petrol. Then to work out how much d kilometers will be, it's when I will times here by d, I times here by d, I times there also by d, okay? And then this will become d kilometers will be like 15 over 100 d liters, okay? So now it means that if we travel d kilometers, we'll spend like 15 over 100 d liters. Okay. Now to find the cost, what should be the cost then? The cost will be the total amount times the price. Okay. Amount times price, or kilometers times price here. Then the cost will be the petrol amount of petrol will be 15 over 100 d liters, okay, times the price, which is p. Then the expression for the cost would be 15 over 100 dp. So which is alternative 4. Okay. I said over again, they said 15 liters per 100 kilometers, okay? Because they're asking me how much kilometers will it be, I prefer to write 100 kilometers to keep the kilometers in my left, and then the liters on the left, on the right. Okay, this is left to me. Maybe it's gonna be right to you, but on my left hand side is this way. So 100 kilometers will consume 15 liters. Now the idea is to find first, if I need to find how many d kilometers will take, okay, I first need to find what 1 kilometers will take in terms of petrol. Divide both sides by 100 to get what 1 kilometers, because 100 divided by 100 here will give me 1, okay? So I have left 1 kilometers will be 15 over 100. Then I can find what d kilometer will be if I times by d both sides. Okay, if I times by d times 1 is just d kilometers, okay? D kilometers will take me 15 over 100 times d, because here also times by d is 15 over 100 d, okay, liters. Now, the cost then must be the petrol that will be consumed times the price per liter. So 15 over 100 d times p, that's the cost, and then which is alternative C, alternative 4. Now the last question here says that excuse me, a plumber charges a call out fee of 160 rand plus 240 rand per hour to do a job. At least how many hours must he work to earn more than 1,120 for at least for a specific job? And then they give us a hint here. Suppose he must work at least X hours. So let's imagine a plumber gets 160 rand for call out and 240 rand per hour. So meaning, okay, let's give an idea. Let's say we pay him like 160 rand for the call out plus 240 rand per hour. If we say he worked 2 hours, I'm giving an example. It's gonna be like 240 rand per hour, so meaning times 2. So 240 for the first hour, 240 for the second hour. So we times by 2 plus 160 here. Okay. Now we don't know how many hours you worked, okay, to get this amount of 1,120. So we're gonna say X. That's why they give us a hint here. Let's say you work like X hours. It could be any variables, it can be H to mean hour, it can be A or whatever it is. But they said, let's say X is the amount of hours. Okay. X is the amount of hour. So this equal to this all must make 1,120 rand. Now, okay, I don't need to reference here. So if I need to work out, because we want to, the question says at least how many hours must he work? At least how many hours must he work to get this amount? So I'm looking for X, the unknown. This X, that's what I'm looking for. How can I get it? This is a case of an equation. First, we're going to get rid of everything next to X, okay? We have like 160 plus here. Because 160 plus is a positive, we're gonna cancel this by minusing 160 there. So if you minus 160 on the left for you can be here, you must also minus 160 on the right, okay? So we minus 160 on the right, 160 there. And then this will be equal to 40 X equal to 1,120 minus 160 is 960. So if you're unsure, you can check that in the calculator. And use my calculator over here. Here it is. So you can do 1,120 minus 160. This is equal to 960. So if I need to work out the value of X, then I will divide here by 240, because why divide by 240? 240 X means 240 times X, okay? If I need to get the value of X, I must use the inverse operation like we did here. It was plus and minus, okay? Because it's 240, I will divide here by 240. I divide there also by 240, okay? The inverse of times is divide. So 160 here was a positive number. I minus by 160, I minus 160 there. Okay, 240 times X here, I must divide by 240 both sides because this will cancel out, and then I'm left with X will be equal to 960 divided by 240. This is equal to 4, but let's check it out. We can just do 960 over 4. This will be, oops, I meant 960 divided by 240. This is equal to 4. X is equal to 4. Therefore, the correct alternative here is alternative 2. So we take 2 hours to, 4 hours to earn at least 1,120. Thank you. We have another question here, question 12. The question says simplify the following expression as far as possible. Now we have like b to the power of 8 times b to the power of 16 in the roots, okay? Square root of, we do have like, as we can see, square root of b to the power of 8 times square root of b to the power of 16. Now there is a property that says, if you have like the nth root, okay, of a to the power of m, this is equal to a to the power of m over n. Okay, this is the formula for how we can simplify radical sign. Now, if we don't see any number here, any indices sometimes called like that, okay, it means that the indices here is 2. It's just 2 there. Over here, the index is 2. So it's like because we have like square roots of b to the power of b to the power of 8, it means the index is 2. okay, times square root of b to the power of 16. It means the indices here is still 2. Okay, it's 2 there. Now applying the formula above in red, this will be b to the power of 8 over 2 multiplied by b to the power of 16 over 2. And then this is equal to b to the power of 4 times b to the power of 8. Now another property says this, if you have like a to the m times a to the n equal to a to the m plus n, this is equal to b to the power of 12. Now b to the power of 12, we can see it is alternative number 3. Okay. Another question is the following question in question 13. It says simplify the following expression as far as possible. Okay, so we do have like 2 to the negative 2 times 2 to the power of 3. So over here we have another law of exponents like in the previous question that says a to the power of m times a to the power of n. Okay, this is basically the law I wrote over here. Okay, equal to a to the power of m plus n. So this law says that when the bases are common, okay, we add the exponents. Okay, we keep the base. So over here, this would be 2 to the, I want to write 1 the base, and then I want to add the exponents, negative 2 plus 3, and this is equal to 2 to the 1, which is just equal to 2. So it is alternative 1. Now question 14. Okay, we can notice, let's say also simplify the following expression as far as possible. Over here, the bases are still the same, okay? So we're gonna use the same formula. So it's a to the power of x plus 3 times a to the power of negative x minus 2. Now, I'm gonna write here a to the x plus 3 times a to the negative x plus, actually minus 2. Okay, the base is the same as here, as it was here and there. The base is common. Okay, like we had it over here and there. When the bases are the same, we apply in the product like this, we apply this formula here, where we're just gonna write 1a, this is equal to a, and then we're going to add the exponents. So we're gonna do x plus 3 plus negative x minus 2. Now that makes a, okay. You see that x minus x falls, and then 3 minus 2 is just 1. So a to the power of 1 is just equal to a. Okay, so the correct alternative is alternative 1. Now, question 15. Over here, the question says solve the following expression as far as possible. So over here, what we do, we're going to do this is going to be like 3 to the power. Okay, before I do that, there is a law of exponents that says that if you have like a times b times dot 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 times z, okay, to the power of n, this is like a times a to the power of n times b to the power of n, okay, times dot 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 times z to the power of n. Okay, so in the product here and then the exponent out there, this exponent is for each letter or each variable or each constant within the parentheses, so within the bracket. So now n is going to be a to the power of n times b to the power of n, etc., etc. Now in this situation, then we will write it like it's going to be like 3 to the power of 2, x to the power of 2, okay, y was squared, okay, it was already y squared, now this also to the power of 2, and then z was cubed, okay, and then it is also to the power of 2 times, it's also the power of 2, like everything within the bracket, and then times 2x to the power of 3, y to the power of 4 divided by x y squared z cubed. So in this situation, okay, let's simplify them. And then the law of exponents says that a to the power of n all to the power of m this is like a to the power of m n. So we times these exponents like that. This is what we're gonna do here and there. And then this would be like 3 squared is 9, x squared, and then y, we times exponent like over here, okay? It's gonna be like y to the power of 4, and then z to the power of 6, okay? And then times, okay, when you don't see any dots, understand it's times, okay? It's just times. If you don't see the dot or the multiplication sign, understand it is times. So this time I prefer to write it dots to avoid confusion, okay, with x's. So it was a dot there, so 2x to the power of 3, and then y to the power of 4 divide by x y squared z cubed. Okay, it is important to note that all this makes like one term, and then this also makes like another term, okay? So let's first combine simplify in this term. For instance, I have 9 here and then I have 2 there. This will make 18. So let's do it over here. Okay. Because of space, not this one. Because of space, I'm gonna split it like this. So that makes 18, okay? And then we have like x squared over here, and then x cubed there. This can be combined, okay? You know, same basis. We do what to the exponents. We're going to add the exponents, okay? On rush like 1x, and then the exponent will be 2 plus 3, which is 5, okay? And then, okay, let's leave it like that so long. And then with the y, we have like y to the power 4, and then y to the power 4. So this makes 4 plus 4. Okay, with the z, that makes z to the power 6, and then divide by x y squared z cubed. Now this will make what? 18x to the power 5 times y to the power of 8 times z to the power of 6 divide by x y squared z3. Now here also, when we divide this, we're going to, it's the opposite operation, okay? When we divide, let me write here. Notice it's not, when it's not times, if you do like a divide by a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, this is a m minus n, okay? This is where it's, when the division will minus. So we're going to do 18 x, because here the exponent is 1. If you don't see any exponent, understand that it has an invisible power of 1. So we will do x to the power 5 here minus 1, which is 4. Okay. And then y to the power of 8 here, okay, minus y to minus 2. That makes y to the power of 6. And then z, it was over here, it was the power of 6, and then over there is the power of 3, and then that will make z to the power of 6 minus 3, which is equal to 3. So z to the power of 3. So this is the final answer. As we can see, is there. The correct answer is alternative 2 here. Thank you very much. If you want to see more about this, first subscribe and then comments, okay? Ask, because I'm making like all the past assignments and all the past exam papers. You can ask, and then I'll tell you how to get the solution of the past assignments and also the past exam paper. Thank you.